The theater holds its breath before a single note is played. Lights skim across the crowd, catching faces that lean forward without realizing it. Somewhere between the hush and the heartbeat, you can feel it, that sense that something unexpected is about to happen, the kind of moment people replay again and again. If you've ever wondered what it looks like when a dream walks onto a stage, stay with me until the end, because this is one of those stories that makes you believe again. And if it moves you, don't forget to like the video and subscribe, because stories like this deserve to travel far. A small figure steps out from the wings, and for a second the stage seems too big for him. He's 12 years old, from the Philippines, with shoes that shine just a little too brightly under the lights. His name is known only to his family and neighbors, to the people who've seen him practice in narrow hallways and dusty courtyards. Tonight, he carries more than nerves, he carries the weight of sacrifice, of parents who worked late so he could dance, of a childhood shaped by music playing from a crackling speaker. The judges smile politely. The audience offers a soft, encouraging applause. No one knows yet that history is about to tap them on the shoulder. When he introduces himself, his voice trembles, but his eyes don't. He talks about loving Michael Jackson, about watching old videos on a phone screen so small he had to imagine the rest. He says dancing makes him feel brave. There's a chuckle in the crowd, the kind that says, "How sweet." Simon leans back, arms crossed, expression unreadable. It's the look of a man who has seen everything, or thinks he has. The music begins, and the boy changes. His posture straightens. The shyness melts into precision. His feet glide, his shoulders snap, and suddenly the space between past and present collapses. He's not copying, he's honoring. Each move carries respect, each beat a promise kept to himself during lonely practice sessions. The crowd shifts. Phones lower. Eyes widen. Something electric hums through the room. Halfway through, there's a stumble, just a fraction of a second where a step lands wrong. For most performers, that would be the end. For him, it becomes fuel. He recovers with a spin so clean it draws a gasp. It's a reminder that greatness isn't perfection, it's resilience. His face shines with sweat and focus, and for a moment, you see a child fighting fear and winning. As the routine builds, the audience rises almost without permission. They clap on the beat, pulled into the rhythm. Judges exchange looks that say, "Are you seeing this?" Simon leans forward now. The crossed arms are gone. There's a spark there, curiosity turning into respect. The final pose lands, sharp and still. Silence crashes in, heavy and absolute, followed by an eruption of sound. Cheers roll like thunder. The boy stands frozen, unsure if it's real. Tears prick at his eyes, and he bows, small hands shaking. He's done everything he can do. The rest is out of his control. The judges speak. Praise flows, but it's measured, careful. Then Simon stands. The room quiets instantly. He talks about how talent doesn't come with an age requirement, about how some performers remind you why you started watching in the first place. He pauses, letting the weight of his words sink in. The boy looks up, hope and disbelief tangled together. When the golden confetti explodes, it's like the sky answering a prayer. The golden buzzer roars to life, and the theater erupts again, louder, brighter, unstoppable. The boy collapses to his knees, hands over his face, tears finally free. His parents rush the stage, hugging him as if they're afraid he might disappear. Simon smiles, not the sharp grin of a critic, but the quiet satisfaction of someone who knows they've just changed a life. In the aftermath, interviews blur together. People ask about dreams, about the future. The boy talks about wanting to make his family proud, about dancing for kids who feel invisible. He says he wants to work hard. That's all. No grand speeches, just honesty. What lingers isn't the confetti or the applause, it's the lesson. That courage can be small and still shake a room. That inspiration doesn't need permission. That somewhere, right now, a child is practicing in a quiet corner, waiting for their chance. If this story made you feel something, hope, joy, that spark of belief, take a second to like the video and subscribe to the channel. It helps these moments reach the people who need them most. Share it with someone who's chasing a dream, or someone who forgot they had one. Because sometimes all it takes is one brave step onto a bright stage to remind us that magic is real, and it's closer than we think. The lights dim, the crowd settles, and for one heartbeat too long, nothing happens. That pause is dangerous. It's where people reach for their phones or look away. But tonight, that silence grips everyone instead. You feel it before you understand it, like the moment right before a wave crashes. Stay with this story until the very end, because what unfolds next isn't just a performance, it's proof that dreams sometimes choose the youngest voices to shout the loudest. And if this story touches you, remember to like the video and subscribe, because moments like this deserve to be seen by the world. A boy steps onto the stage, barely tall enough for the microphone. He's 12 years old, from the Philippines, and his name sounds ordinary when he says it, almost shy. His hands clasp together as he looks out at the judges and the endless sea of faces beyond them. Somewhere backstage, his parents are holding their breath. Somewhere back home, neighbors who watched him dance on cracked floors are praying. This stage feels like another universe, and for a second, he looks like he might float away in it. He talks softly about his love for Michael Jackson, about watching old performances again and again until the moves lived inside his muscles. He doesn't say how many times he failed, how many nights he practiced while other kids slept, how many doubts tried to convince him to stop. He just smiles, small but steady. The judges nod. Polite applause follows. It's the kind of moment that could easily fade if not for what comes next. The music starts, and everything changes. The boy doesn't dance as much as he transforms. His feet slide with intention, his arms cut the air with confidence, and suddenly the stage fits him perfectly. Each movement tells a story of discipline and devotion, of a child who learned to speak through rhythm when words weren't enough. The audience leans forward. Whispers ripple. This isn't imitation, it's connection. Midway through the routine, the challenge arrives. A complex sequence, fast and unforgiving, threatens to unravel everything. For a split second, doubt flickers across his face. Then he pushes through, turning pressure into power. The mistake becomes invisible, swallowed by determination. It's in that moment, when he refuses to give in, that the room truly belongs to him. The judges are no longer observers, they're witnesses. Simon's expression shifts, the skepticism melting into surprise, then something deeper. Respect. The crowd rises, clapping in rhythm, caught in the spell of a boy who dared to believe he could stand here. The final beat hits. He freezes in a pose so iconic it sends a jolt through the theater. Silence falls again, then explodes. Cheers crash over the stage. The boy's chest heaves as he bows, eyes wide, as if he's asking himself, did that really just happen? Comments come fast, glowing and sincere. But then Simon stands. The room quiets instantly. He speaks about star quality, about moments that can't be taught. He looks at the boy and says some people are born with something special, and some earn it through sheer will. The pause stretches. Hearts race. The golden buzzer is pressed. Gold rains from above, flooding the stage in light. The boy drops to his knees, overwhelmed, tears streaking down his face. His parents rush forward, holding him tight as if grounding him in reality. Simon watches with a soft smile, knowing this single decision has just rewritten a future. Later, when the noise fades, the boy speaks again. He thanks his parents. He thanks the judges. He says he hopes other kids like him won't give up. His voice is still young, but his message is timeless. This isn't just a talent show moment. It's a reminder that greatness doesn't wait for permission, that courage can come in small frames, and that sometimes the bravest thing you can do is step onto a stage and trust yourself. If this story inspired you, don't let it end here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs a reminder that dreams are worth chasing, no matter how young, how small, or how impossible they seem. Because somewhere out there, another child is practicing in the shadows, waiting for their golden moment. The camera glides over the audience, catching smiles, folded arms, curious eyes. There's that familiar buzz in the air, the feeling that something might happen, even if no one knows what. Before we go any further, promise me one thing, watch this story till the very end, because the last few moments change everything. And if you feel even a little inspired along the way, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to the channel. Your support keeps stories like this alive. A young boy walks onto the stage, small steps echoing louder than they should. He's only 12, from the Philippines, and the spotlight feels almost unfairly bright on his face. He smiles nervously, hands clenched together, shoulders tight with pressure. This stage is bigger than any place he's ever danced before. Bigger than the narrow rooms, bigger than the streets where music played from old speakers while neighbors watched through open doors. He introduces himself softly. His voice shakes, but there's a quiet strength behind it. He talks about loving Michael Jackson, about learning dance moves from videos he replayed over and over until the timing felt natural. He doesn't talk about the power cuts, the lack of space, the moments when people laughed and told him to focus on real life. But you can feel those stories hiding behind his eyes. The judges listen. The audience claps politely. It's the kind of moment that happens hundreds of times until the music starts. The first beat hits, and it's like a switch flips inside him. His body loosens, confidence rushing in. His feet glide across the stage with control far beyond his age. Every move is sharp, intentional, full of respect for the legend he's honoring. The crowd begins to murmur. Phones slowly lower. Something special is unfolding. Then comes the hardest part of the routine. Fast steps, precise timing, no room for error. His breath shortens. A move nearly slips. For half a second, fear flashes across his face. But instead of stopping, he pushes harder. He adapts. He owns the moment. What could have been a failure becomes proof of courage. The audience feels it. They rise to their feet, clapping in rhythm, cheering without realizing it. This isn't just talent, it's heart. The boy dances like someone who knows this chance may never come again, like someone who refuses to waste even 1 second of it. The final pose hits. Perfect stillness. For a heartbeat, the room is silent, then erupts. Cheers crash forward, loud and unstoppable. The boy stands frozen, eyes wide, as if unsure whether to smile or cry. He bows again and again, overwhelmed by the sound of belief pouring toward him. The judges speak, praising his discipline, his passion, his fearlessness. Then one judge stands. The energy shifts instantly. Everyone knows what this moment could mean. Words are spoken about star power, about performances you don't forget, about how sometimes you meet someone who reminds you why dreams matter. A pause. Then the golden buzzer is pressed. Gold rains from the ceiling, covering the stage in light. The boy drops to his knees, hands shaking, tears streaming down his face. His parents rush forward, holding him as tightly as they can, crying with him. Years of sacrifice, doubt, and hope collapse into this one shining moment. Later, when he speaks again, his voice is still small, but it carries weight. He thanks his parents. He thanks everyone who believed in him. He says he hopes other kids like him won't give up. No big speeches. Just truth. This story isn't only about a buzzer or a stage. It's about bravery. About believing in yourself when the world is quiet. About taking one step forward even when your legs are shaking. If this story touched your heart, don't let it stop here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs hope today. Because somewhere, right now, another child is dancing in a small room, dreaming of a bright stage and believing that their moment will come too. The room goes quiet in a way that feels heavy, like everyone senses they're standing at the edge of something important. The camera slows, the lights soften, and for a brief second, time almost pauses. These are the moments people remember long after a show ends. So stay with this story until the very last word, because what happens at the end is the reason people believe in miracles again. And if this journey moves you even a little, make sure you like the video and subscribe to the channel, because your support helps stories like this reach hearts around the world. From the side of the stage, a 12-year-old boy steps forward. He's from the Philippines, wearing a simple outfit, his shoes carefully polished as if they're his armor. The spotlight feels too big for him, but he walks into it anyway. His hands shake as he grips the microphone, and when he speaks, his voice is soft, almost swallowed by the space around him. He says he loves Michael Jackson. He says dancing makes him happy. He doesn't say how many times he practiced alone, or how many people told him it was just a hobby, or how many nights his parents watched silently, hoping his dream wouldn't break his heart. The judges listen with polite smiles. The audience claps kindly, but cautiously. It's familiar territory, another young dreamer, another hopeful audition. For a moment, it feels like this could go either way. Then the music starts. The first beat hits, and the boy disappears. Not physically, but emotionally. Fear drains from his face, replaced by focus and fire. His feet glide across the stage with precision that doesn't match his age. His movements are sharp, controlled, and full of respect, not imitation. It's as if the music has been waiting for him to arrive. The crowd leans forward. Whispers ripple through the seats. This isn't cute anymore. This is serious. As the routine builds, the pressure grows. The choreography gets faster, more demanding. One misstep could shatter everything. For a split second, he almost loses balance. You can see it, the doubt, the panic. But instead of stopping, he pushes through. He adapts, turns the mistake into momentum, and keeps going. That moment, more than any perfect move, tells his story. This isn't just talent. This is resilience. The audience begins clapping in rhythm, rising to their feet without realizing it. The judges are no longer relaxed, they're leaning in, eyes locked on the stage. One of them, known for being the hardest to impress, watches with a look that slowly changes from skepticism to surprise, and then to something much deeper. Respect. The final move lands. The boy freezes in place, breathing hard, heart racing. Silence crashes over the theater, thick and overwhelming. Then the explosion comes. Cheers, screams, applause that feels like it might lift the roof. The boy looks out at the crowd, eyes wide, tears forming as he bows again and again, unsure how to contain what he's feeling. The judges speak, praising his discipline, his passion, his courage. Each word sinks in, but he still looks unsure, like he's waiting for the ground to disappear beneath him. Then the moment shifts. One judge stands. The room instantly quiets. He talks about rare moments, about performers who remind you why you fell in love with music and dreams in the first place. He pauses, letting the tension stretch just a little longer than comfortable. And then, the golden buzzer is pressed. Gold pours from above like sunlight made solid. The boy collapses to his knees, hands covering his face as tears finally fall freely. His parents rush onto the stage, holding him tight, crying with him as years of sacrifice, fear, and hope all collide in one shining moment. The audience roars again, louder than before, celebrating not just a performance, but a life changed forever. Later, when the noise fades, the boy speaks quietly. He thanks his parents. He thanks everyone who believed in him. He says he hopes other kids like him will keep dreaming, even when it's hard. His words are simple, but they carry the weight of truth. This isn't just a story about a talent show or a golden buzzer. It's a reminder that bravery doesn't need permission, that dreams don't care about age, and that sometimes the smallest person on the biggest stage can leave the deepest impact. If this story inspired you, don't let it end here. Like the video, subscribe to the channel, and share it with someone who needs hope today. Because somewhere, right now, another child is practicing in silence, waiting for the moment when the world finally listens.